Are you tired of that sinking feeling? The one that hits a few days before payday, when you check your bank account and realize there's almost nothing left. It feels like you're running on a treadmill, working so hard just to stay in the same place. The money comes in, you pay your bills, and poof, it's gone. You tell yourself, if I just earned a little more, everything would be fine. But what if I told you that earning more isn't the magic solution? The real key to breaking free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle isn't about a bigger salary. It's about smarter management of the money you already have. This isn't about shaming you or making you feel guilty about your spending. It's about empowerment. It's about taking back control so you can breathe again, plan for the future, and finally get off that exhausting treadmill. Today, we're going to walk through a practical, step-by-step guide to do exactly that. No vague advice, no impossible goals, just actionable steps that will help you stop living paycheck to paycheck for good. This is the day your financial story changes. Let's get started. The first step, and honestly, the hardest one for most people, is to face the real numbers. You cannot fix a problem you refuse to look at. I know it can be scary. You might be afraid of what you'll find, but ignorance isn't bliss, it's a cage. For the next 30 days, I want you to commit to tracking every single dollar you spend. Every coffee, every subscription, every grocery run, every online purchase. Write it down in a notebook, create a simple spreadsheet, or use a budgeting app on your phone. It doesn't matter what tool you use, as long as you use it consistently. The goal here isn't to judge yourself, it's to gather data. You're becoming a detective in your own financial life, looking for clues about where your money is. Asterisk's going. Not where you think it's going. You might be shocked to discover that your daily latte habit adds up to over $100 a month, or that you're spending way more on streaming services than you realized. This isn't about cutting everything out immediately. It's about awareness. Awareness is the foundation of control. Once you truly see the full picture, you can start making conscious, informed decisions instead of letting your money just disappear into thin air. This single act of tracking is the most powerful first step you can take toward financial freedom. Once you have a month's worth of data, it's time for step 2. Separating your needs from your wants. This sounds simple, but it's where a lot of financial plans fall apart. We often confuse comfort with survival. So let's get crystal clear. Needs are the absolute essentials for you to live and work. We're talking about housing, your rent or mortgage. We're talking about essential utilities like electricity and water. We're talking about basic, healthy groceries, not gourmet meals every night. We're talking about transportation to get to your job and essential healthcare costs. These are the non-negotiables. Wants are everything else. That daily takeout lunch, a want. The 5 different streaming subscriptions you have. Wants, that new gadget you saw online, a want. The weekend shopping trip for new clothes when your closet is already full, a want. Now, this doesn't mean you can never have wants again. Life would be pretty boring without them. The point is to be brutally honest with yourself about the difference. When you're trying to escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle, your wants are the first area you can adjust. Ask yourself, is this truly necessary for my survival, or is it a comfort I've grown accustomed to? Being able to distinguish between the two is where your power lies. That's how you start to free up cash flow and tell your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Financial freedom begins with this honesty. Now that you've started to identify where you can trim the fat, it's time for step 3, building a starter emergency fund. This is your financial safety net, your buffer against life's inevitable surprises. Living without an emergency fund is like walking a tightrope without a net. One small misstep, a flat tire, a sick pet, an unexpected medical bill, and you're sent tumbling into high-interest credit card debt, digging the hole even deeper. Our initial goal here is not to save a massive amount. We want a quick win to build momentum. Your first target is just $500. I know that might sound like a lot when you re-stretched thin, but you can get there. Look back at the wants you identified. Could you pause a few subscriptions for a couple of months? Could you make coffee at home instead of buying it out? Sell a few things around the house you no longer use. Every little bit counts. Scrape together whatever you can until you hit that $500 mark. Having that $500 in a separate savings account is a game changer. Psychologically, it's a massive relief. It's the breathing room you've been craving. The next time your car makes a funny noise, you won't panic. You'll have a fund to cover it. Once you hit $500, don't stop. With a small emergency fund in place, you're ready for step 4, creating a simple budget system that actually works. A lot of people hear the word budget and immediately think of restrictive, complicated spreadsheets that suck all the fun out of life. It doesn't have to be that way. Let's keep it simple with the 50/30/20 rule. This is a guideline, not a strict law, but it's an excellent starting point. Here's how it breaks down. 50% of your after-tax income goes toward your needs. This is the stuff we talked about earlier. Housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, all the essentials. 30% goes toward your wants. This is your fun money, dining out, hobbies, entertainment, shopping. This category is flexible, and it's the first place you look to make cuts when you need to. Finally, 20% goes toward savings and debt payoff. This includes contributions to your emergency fund, retirement accounts, and extra payments on high-interest debt. Now, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, your numbers probably don't look like this right now. Your needs category might be taking up 70% or even 80% of your income. That's okay. The goal isn't to get to 50/30ths, 20 overnight. The goal is to use it as a target. Look at your spending. Where can you make small adjustments? Maybe you can reduce your grocery bill by meal planning, or find a cheaper cell phone plan. The idea is to slowly and intentionally shift your spending until it fits a healthier structure, one where you are saving for your future, not just surviving the present. You want to make your budget fit your life goals, not the other way around. Step 5 is where the magic really starts to happen. Automate everything. Willpower is a finite resource. If you rely on remembering to transfer money to savings, or making an extra debt payment each month, life will get in the way, and you'll forget. Automation removes emotion and forgetfulness from the equation. It puts your financial plan on autopilot. Here's what you do. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account for the day after you get paid. Even if it's just $25 to start, automate it. That money is gone before you even have a chance to miss it or spend it. Next, set up autopay for as many of your bills as possible, like your rent, utilities, and car payment. This prevents late fees and protects your credit score. If you have a retirement plan at work, make sure you're contributing, and automate that contribution. By setting up these systems, you are essentially pre-committing to your financial goals. You make the smart decision once, and the system takes care of the rest. You are no longer fighting a daily battle against impulse spending. You're building a machine that works for you, silently growing your savings and paying down your debt in the background. This is how you stop relying on discipline and start building wealth systematically. Once your savings are automated, it's time to tackle step 6. Killing your high-interest debt. Debt, especially credit card debt, is like a ball and chain holding you back. The interest rates are so high that it feels like you're remaking payments, but the balance never goes down. It's a tax on your future, and it's stealing money that could be going toward your own goals. It's time to declare war on it. There are 2 popular methods to do this: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. With the debt snowball, you list all your debts from the smallest balance to the largest. You make minimum payments on everything except the smallest one, which you attack with every extra dollar you can find. Once it's paid off, you feel a huge psychological win. Then you take all the money you were paying on that debt and roll it over to the next smallest one. With the debt avalanche, you list your debts by interest rate, from highest to lowest. You attack the one with the highest interest rate first, which mathematically saves you the most money over time. Both methods work. The best one is the one you'll stick with. Pick one, and get focused. Every extra payment you make on that debt is like giving yourself a future raise. You're buying back your freedom and your future income. Finally, we arrive at step 7. Strategically increasing your income. There's a limit to how much you can cut from your budget. You can only cut your grocery bill or your utility costs so much, but there is no technical limit to how much you can earn. While you're working on your budget and paying down debt, start thinking about ways to bring in more cash. This doesn't mean you have to go out and get a second full-time job. It can be small things. Could you pick up a few shifts with a food delivery or rideshare app on the weekends? Do you have a skill you could freelance, like writing, graphic design, or social media management? Look around your home. What could you sell on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist? Old electronics, furniture you don't use, clothes you never wear, it's all potential cash. Even an extra $100 or $200 a month can make a massive difference. That extra money can be thrown directly at your debt, supercharging your progress. Or it can be used to fully fund your emergency fund in a fraction of the time. Think of it as an accelerator for your financial plan. You're not just playing defense by cutting costs. You're now playing offense by increasing your income. Combining these 2 strategies is the fastest way to leave the paycheck to paycheck life behind for good. Living paycheck to paycheck is not a life sentence. It is not a character flaw. It's a temporary situation of phase that you have the power to end. Let's recap the plan. First, you face the truth by tracking your spending. Second, you learn the crucial difference between your needs and your wants. Third, you build a small emergency fund to act as a buffer. Fourth, you create a simple budget, like the 50-30-20 rule to guide you. Fifth, you put your progress on autopilot by automating your savings and bill payments. Sixth, you attack your high-interest debt with focus. And finally, you accelerate your journey by finding ways to increase your income. Financial freedom doesn't start with winning the lottery or getting a huge inheritance. It starts with a decision. It starts with a plan. You have that plan now. The journey won't be over in a week, but it starts today. Take that first step. I promise you, a year from now, you will be so glad you did. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content to help you master your money and build a life you love. Let me know in the comments which step you're going to start with first. You've got this.